Hello everyone, Wave here. Today we're going to check out another Tectone video and if China is truly banning Genshin Impact. So if you want to watch the video fully on yourself, the link will be in the description, but I'm going to react to it and going to pause in between and give my opinion and stuff. So let's go.
I've been sitting on this video for about 6 days now, and I feel like I've researched enough to finally address this because I don't like giving my gut instinct and my gut reaction on an issue this serious. And if you saw the title and you think it's clickbait, there is always some truth to any.
Yeah, some truth. Okay, this is just a partial thing maybe.
My entire channel, but this title is pretty much whole truth, and the entire truth is that China has put, and it has been passed, this legislation of a video game ban in China. Now,
video game ban?
It's not an entire ban.
No, they just put, what I just know is that they put like 1 hour every day for children to play some game except for school days. So in school days they can't play anything or something like that.
No, but it is limiting the youth of China to 3 hours of video games a week.
Oh,
now,
okay.
This has a lot of repercussions, and this information is coming from Wall Street Journal, which is a pretty damn reliable source. Okay?
This is a strong change.
In my opinion, I don't think that the hours of gameplay is going to hinder people who play Genshin Impact, but there is going to be some very serious repercussions for Genshin Impact, because if gaming in China declines in popularity, well, that will have ripple effects, that will have repercussions. Now, here's the thing. With the youth and with things that the youth want to do, regardless of whether it's 18 and up or not, if they...
Wait, I think I'm gonna do a separate video on that one, on that topic itself. Not only on the Genshin realm, but all in all, this one political change will be interesting to discuss.
Want to find a way to do it, they're going to do it. Let's be real. The way that it works, the video game ban, is that everybody in China has like this code that's assigned to their name, and you have to use that code in order to sign up and play any video game. And once people who are below 18 have reached that cap on their card, then they're no longer allowed to play video games for the rest of the weeks. And it
okay, but what if you are in the midst of a League of Legends round, like just get kicked out or what? That's insane. Oops.
So much to be like where it's only 1 hour from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that's it. So I don't even think you can stockpile the hours to do one burst sum. Now,
yeah, that's it.
It is very hard to get completely accurate information from what's going on overseas to here. I mean, obviously people are always going to get their spin on it, but that's just what I've been led to believe. Now, here's the thing. Okay, and this is the same with tobacco. I mean, kids who are below 18 years old, if they want to smoke tobacco, they're going to find a way to smoke tobacco. And I'm not going to lie, if a parent thinks that it's no problem for their sons or daughters to play video games for an excess of 3 hours a week, they're going to find a way to play their video games.
Yeah,
okay? Whether that takes their code card,
even China,
takes their grandpa's code card, and just go above the 3 hour limit. You know, if they want to do it, if they have the balls, they're going to do it. Now, is that the right thing to do? Who knows? Is there going to be legal repercussions? Who knows? How would they even know that? I mean, I've been using the internet for 27 years old, or 27 years, and they still don't know that I'm actually a robot when I click that I'm not. So let's continue a little bit further. Now, Genshin Impact is, by all case and purposes, and I don't think anybody would deny this,
So Genshin Impact itself shouldn't be hurt that much because of that decision, because this is not round based like the mobile games like or like Counter-Strike and stuff. You need to sit there for like 50 minutes straight or 30 minutes straight to 40 minutes. But times always vary, and that's a big problem with that rule. So I think the people will more rely on or the children will rely more on these shorter games like Genshin and stuff, where you just can quit whenever you want, and yeah.
Really ruled by whatever China feels. Okay? There's been no real...
I would rather say that League of Legends would die in China for children.
Change in Genshin Impact, in my eyes. Maybe you disagree, unless China has said it first, because let's be real, that's where MiHoYo is making the majority of their money. Okay, 302 million to date in China, 278 million in Japan, you know, 180
But most of these expenses are or the spent money we got from the Chinese people are probably over 18. They probably some massive whales, the normal walker and stuff like that. But I don't think that children put any money in Genshin. Maybe a little bit. Got like $5 from my parents or 10, and get the Waking Moon. That's it. But yeah. Maybe it's
US, and
a difference.
Real here.
A big one.
The amount of players that Japan has over the amount of players that the US has, or even the amount of people that could play in gross population of the entire country, is a lot smaller than the Western countries. But the culture is much different for Westerners compared to Easterners, because in Japan, mobile gaming is the shit. In Western territory,
yeah, Japan is more like mobile games, consoles it's themselves, and PCs are not that popular over there. That's a problem.
We're still trying to figure it out, and especially spending money on video games, it's pretty damn hype. It's fun. We're in Western countries. I mean,
yeah, you can in most of the Asian countries, you can see how insane gacha games are going well there. It's actually insane. You go overseas, and it was insane like 2016 when I was there, or 2018. But now it should have grown much more larger, and gacha games have pretty much a big boom.
The amount of times I've been called a stinky whale or a stinky pay-to-win player is ridiculous, when in reality, for me, it's not paying to win, it's just paying to have a good time.
Yeah, if it would be like a PvP game or something, or he would get an advantage over other players in that regard for something like that, I don't really think that Genshin Impact is pay-to-win. It can't be pay-to-win in that regard. Maybe if you play League of Legends, if you could buy like your stats and something like that to have better stats on the enemy and kill them faster and better, that's something that is a problem. That's pay to win. But this is just a good way to make a bunch of money and make people addicted to the gacha system. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Blow some money on a fucking video game that I like to play. Sure, you can see that as damaging, but I'll be real. When one person is spending hundreds of dollars to put on a show for 10,000 people, I don't really see that as harm. Same thing if somebody spends $10 for themselves just because they had a rough day and they wanted to do something productive, or not really productive, but something fun with their day. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is how much of this money is really the people who are below 18. Okay, so in China,
that's the truth.
Said that it's pretty damn low, and barely about 3% of the money that is being made in the video game industry of people who are below 18 is a staggering 3%. Now, I don't know how accurate that is or not. I mean, I would like to believe global sources, but at the end of the day, I mean, I still think it's the same thing with the age rating on YouTube. Like, there are so many people who lie about their ages, and there's always a reason to lie if you're older in order to access something, and there's not really any reason to lie about you being younger. So I don't know how accurate that is, and I highly doubt that only 3% of the revenue comes from people below.
But it's definitely a smaller percentage, I think. It can't be a majority in that regard.
18. I find that a little bit preposterous, but
yeah, that's just my theory.
Take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to guess at least 10 to 20%. Now, the reason why that affects Genshin players is because if China does start to lose their cash cows and starts to lose the money of their country, Japan, and why I highly doubt it, the US might overtake where the money's coming from. And let's be real, a company should always listen to where their money is coming from. Okay, that's just the way that it is. If a company wants to be successful, they listen to the people who are giving them the most money. Now, as much as I want to advocate for free-to-play,
that's also why many video game companies are so obedient to China and apply their rules to their games, so they can publish games. There were 1 billion people, more than 1 billion. I don't know how many million extra, but yeah, there's a market of 1 billion people to, let's say, salvage, and that's something you can't just ignore.
rights. That's not really the way that it's ever gone. Now, do I think it's right? No. Do I wish every free-to-play had the same say as, every other person? Yeah, of course, but I'm gonna be real. If somebody I didn't know came up to me and gave me $1 million, I would probably do them a favor. If somebody came up to me and gave me nothing and asked for a favor, I would probably tell them no. Okay, wanna know why? Because money rules the goddamn world, and I want to retire before I get to 70 years old. That's another thing that I want to talk about. Is why is gaming being barred in China? Well, the way that I see it, the way that Chinese culture works is that a lot of your success is dictated by how hard you're working. And if you do ever stop working, then you aren't really seen as successful as somebody else. Like, overworking yourself in other territories is greatly praised. And I don't really agree with that philosophy. And also, a lot of things have been dictated to where if you are playing video games, it is considered that you are wasting your time. Now, in my opinion, and this is a great article right here, the further we get in civilization, the less the crime rate drops. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I genuinely feel that video games in moderation have been some of the best things for mental health possible, because the reason why...
Yeah, that's completely true. I can say nothing against it.
In my opinion, has been dropping.
That's true.
There are more ways that are cheaper to afford to actually fix your mental health. Let's be real. Taking care of your mental health hasn't really existed.
Only if you are like addicted to a game. Not in the gacha sense or spending money on that one game, but if you are getting toxic and stuff, and over time it just builds up, and yeah, then it's not good for you.
For that long. I'm talking maybe 10, 15 years tops of people actually considering anxiety a real thing. And people will still look you in the eyes and call you a fucking pussy if you're saying that you're having a fucking panic attack. Okay? Video games is one of the most cheap and effective way to fix your mental health in moderation and also meet new people. Okay, now we are once again in the middle of a global pandemic, and inflation is on the rise over and over and over again. I'm real, I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. Okay, so as
it will definitely build up over time and get worse and worse.
Much as it's, great to say, why don't you go out and get some friends and meet some people? That costs money. And do you know what the majority of people don't have right now? Fucking money. You tell me what's easier. Going out for one night to get some drinks and go bowling with your boys in real life, or spending $10 fucking on a video game that you can play for a fucking month and meet people on a free fucking voice server called fucking Discord. I'm going to be real. I don't think $300 for a night of fun is that financially viable for the majority of people. Okay? Now, video games have always been seen as a bad thing. And once again, when the Facebook moms catch...
Yeah, everything new was seen as a bad thing. Like, throughout history, it's just always the same. When something new comes up, the people will rise against it, but it will overcome that. That's for sure.
Of what's going...
When we get older and when we are in their shoes and like something new comes up and we are telling the younger ones that that thing is bad and look how in the past that one was better. You know what I mean?
Going on over in China, and even if it works or doesn't work, they are going to weaponize this, where I believe sooner or later this is going to come over to the Western countries. Do I agree with that? No. Now, as much as I want to be positive and think, okay, well, if gaming starts to go on the decline in China because they do realize how negative it is, or how negative they can make it look, maybe us people over in Japan and in Western countries can have more say on getting things fixed, because let's be real, there's a lot of things that we need fixed in Genshin Impact, with the Amber buff, the Chi-Chi buff, the fact that Raiden Shogun doesn't work with Beidou, the fact that Klee bombs and Aloy bombs don't work with Venti, the fact that Yoimiya is a completely broken mess unit, which can still do very good single target DPS, but the fact that her internal mechanics don't work, whether we like to admit it or not, or whether you don't see it or not, we are pretty much at the mercy for what China will complain about, because MiHoYo has to listen to what the Chinese audience is saying, because they're making the most money. And as much as I want to be a very, very, very small man and be excited
to learn Mandarin.
About, oh, there's hope, I am pretty damn sad that we as a world cannot realize that video games can do a hell of a lot more good for people than can do harm if it is controlled.
Yeah, but as I said earlier, this will be only in the beginning like that. Oh my god, what sentence was that? Only in the beginning, the people won't trust that new thing which is created. It will, we will get used to it. Like the world.
Now, I want to say this right now. If you need people to talk to about the struggles that you're going through, if you need people to talk to about just the overall stress of your day-to-day life, I highly recommend you join my discord.gg/Tectone, linked in the description. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. There is a lot of unhealthy ways in order to kind of take care of your own mental health in a very poor way by just spamming video games and video games and video games and video games until you legitimately can't think, you get over addicted, you quit your job, and all you do is play video games because those are the only things that you do that make you feel alive. That's not good. And I also want to say this, that is not entirely your fault. Okay? The world is getting harder and harder, and we as human beings are expected to perform and behave at a much higher level than days of yore. Okay, we as humans are being held and put on this pedestal to act a certain way and be good and work hard and work hard. And if you don't make money, you're a loser. You're 17 years old and you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life. Wow, you had to change your major one time in college. Wow, you failed one class in high school. You're a failure. You're a failure. You're not making money. You're not succeeding. You're not winning. So you're a loser. You're a waste of space. You're garbage. I want you to know that you can find people who understand the struggles of your day-to-day life, and you don't have to sit in your room alone and play games and be sad and hope that, oh, well, you know, things in my real life aren't really working too good, but I got platinum in League of Legends, so maybe I'm not a piece of shit after all. Trust me, I've been there. When you start putting your progress and your
also during Platinum League, hoping I win my promos.
Accolades in video games above those in real life because maybe you did pull the short end of the stick, maybe you did get fucked, and maybe you are going through a rough patch of life. That is where the true issue starts.
So that's actually wrapping everything up. I wanted just to hear the core theme of his video, and that's everything he talked about. No, he just cheers you up and something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Check out Tectone's vid in the description to give him the view and like he deserves. And yeah, that's good content he puts out. See you next time. Wafer out.